When the Minister for Agriculture approached me to come and officiate at this meeting, I was asking what role would I play. I would be in the midst of the experts, those who know the industry better, those who have been laboring for many years to keep this sector alive and contribute to the development of our nation. So I thought it would be best to speak from the macro level, given that the specifics in the industry can better be resolved through the coordinated efforts of everyone in this room. So that is where I will place my intervention this morning. And before I do that, I would just like to, on behalf of government, thank each and every one of you for your faith in the economy, in the country, through the continuous investments that you place in your farms, the employment that you are able to generate, and for the support towards the development objectives of Fiji. I'm sure that we also appreciate and acknowledge the support that is rendered by the sponsors of this forum today, the EU, through the PAPP and SPC. And government continues to welcome the support or partnership that are rendered by our various development partners and stakeholders to move certain industries forward. My interest is also, in this forum, is also in two parts. One is because we are currently working on the 2016 budget design. Secondly, we are also designing the National Development Plan for Fiji through the Ministry of Strategic Planning. So I currently look after the Finance Ministry and also the Ministry of Strategic Planning. So I thought that this forum is timely in this regard. And I look forward to the outcomes that will be arrived at the conclusion of this forum. So that was the first part. My second interest is with regards to the fact that I am also a small farmer, not a big farmer like some of you, but a small livestock farmer as well. So I'm going to tap on some of the skills that are in this room on how to make my farm profitable, because right now I'm spending more money than what I'm getting. Yeah? So I will be harassing some of you on the secrets to successful livestock farming. I'm sure, as Dr. Kenneth has mentioned, we are all aware of why we are here, the reason, the objectives of this meeting. I note with interest that you would like to share information on the changing landscape revolving around livestock farming. What are the constraints and what are the opportunities that we have? Then you would like to develop a strategy document going forward. Similarly, I note that there is a feed bill that will be discussed, and then awareness on the 2020 plan that has been discussed. So today, as I mentioned before, I had a prepared speech by my team from Suva. When I read through it, it seemed to me like I'm preaching to the converted. So I changed my speech and just focus on the macro plans that we have in government. And I'm thankful for the theme that you have, new generation thinking. And I believe that if you were to monitor or assess how we have performed as a nation up to this point, I think we need a transformative thinking, new generation thinking to take us to the next level. And I will share about some of the plans that we have in that regard. One of the signatures of this government has been innovative thinking. And I'm not sure most of you would have realized that too. And during the budget process, that is something that we try to bring to the table or to the nation. Innovative thinking that we can include in our budget so that there is growth, so that there is development, so that we are seen to be progressing. And sometimes those innovative thinking may seem to be incorrect by stakeholders, assessors that are out there, whether it's from external or internal. Sometimes they will try and discourage you and say, hey, no, that's not a good idea, that's not the right idea. You will not know unless you test it. And that's something that we have witnessed or experienced as well. I think, for example, when we decided to restructure our tax system in Fiji, we received a lot of adverse comments that it is not the right thing to do. You would lose a lot of revenue and your growth would be stunted. In fact, the exact opposite happened. So today, I just want to encourage you in your new generation thinking theme today. Do not be afraid to think big. And do not be afraid to think outside the box. And do not be afraid to test the boundaries. So if we are to go from where we are right now in terms of our economic development, where we are beginning to grow above 4%, there are parties out there who doubted that we would be growing at 4%. They say that our potential growth level is 2%. And we had been operating below 2% in our growth. But through transformative thinking, through innovative thinking, through the policies of government, we are able to bring growth to above 4%. But we shouldn't be complacent and be content with that 4% growth. Yesterday, I had a whole day session with my team at Finance and Planning. And I asked them, I posed the question to them, which stated that how can we improve growth to a higher level than 5? We have been targeting 5% so far, and we are almost hitting 5% now. And I just returned from a meeting abroad where they put up our growth performance of Pacific Island countries against our neighbors in the Asian region. And it felt good to see that finally Fiji's growth is almost reaching that of our Asian. They grow at around 7%, 10%, and Fiji eventually is reaching 4.6 and 4.5. So at that very meeting, I was asking myself, how can we move much, much closer to our neighbors than just the 4.6 or 4.5%. And you all have a role in that regard. Move towards that growth performance. It will require our attitude to change. It will require the enthusiasm. It should change. Our passion should change. Our service delivery should change. The consultation and collaboration should change. And we need to change a lot of our approaches. That will allow us to reach the potential that we are capable of. And let me talk briefly about the economy right now. You all know where we are in terms of our development. As I mentioned before, we have reached a number of indicators, macro indicators, that we had set for ourselves as a country, that we targeted. We wanted to grow towards 5%. We are now on 4.6 or 4.5%. This year, the growth forecast is about 4%. We wanted inflation to be controlled. Our inflation is controlled right now below 3%. We wanted to ensure that there's a healthy level of foreign reserves, and we have attained that. Our reserves cover is 4 to 5 months, as we had targeted. We wanted deficit to be controlled. Government average deficit over the last 8 years has been below 2%. We wanted our debt level to be controlled. We have brought that down from almost 60 to around 50% or below 50% as a percent of GDP right now. So we have achieved a lot of macroeconomic indicators that we had targeted some years ago. And now it's time to set new targets for us as a country. And the brainstorming session that you will have during this meeting will enable government to partner with you so that we will achieve that growth that I'm talking about. Now, why is the livestock sector important? We all are aware of the reasons. You play an integral part in the rural life, and the studies have shown that over 60% of the rural population participate in livestock activities. Note that agriculture sector contributes about 12% towards our GDP, and of that 12, around 9 or plus percentage is from the livestock sector. You contribute towards food and nutritional security. You also sustain our crop production through power and manure provision. And government has shown its support towards the agriculture sector through the provision of around 65 million in 2015, and of that around 17% is the budget that has been given to animal health and production division for the various programs that it looks after. But my challenge to you, though, as being part of the agricultural sector, is why can't we go back to the 20 or 25% contribution that agriculture used to place on our GDP? Now we have fallen to around 12%. Now how can we move this sector to become one of the prominent ones again amongst the various sectors that we have 21 or so? Now agriculture, there is huge potential, but at every meeting we go to, we seem to hear potential, but we have not reached the potential yet. So what will it take to transform us to realizing those potential? So some of the challenges that we would like to see addressed at this forum, and what we would expect from this forum. I hope that after this meeting today, this week, going forward, there will be efficiency in the livestock sector. We expect to see an increase in agriculture productivity, as I mentioned before, bring back that 25% contribution to GDP. I expect to see increase in farmers' income as a result of the new generation thinking that you will conduct here. I expect to see some building of capacity in rural communities so that they can diversify into commercial agriculture. We expect to see some reduction in dependency on imports, and also to achieve self-sufficiency in all agriculture and livestock products. We also would like to see upskilling in the skills that are necessary or needed in this particular sector, such as vet. We also would like to see high-quality feed at affordable prices. And I hope you will be able to come up with a magic formula to help us realize that. Similarly, we would like to see us capitalizing on Fiji's development status and as a hub in the region by supplying the Pacific Island countries or the regional market. We also expect to see some modernization of processes and systems. And as I mentioned before, I note that there is some work in this regard on the feed bill to ensure high feed quality and also safety assurance. And as always, government will always be available to provide the support that is needed. And as I mentioned, I look forward to the proposals that will come from you to try and address some of the challenges that we have. And challenges will always be part of the things that we do or pursue, but it is important for us not to just focus on the challenges, but to direct our energy on the opportunities that are available and how we can work those opportunities so that there is benefit that comes out of it. And you, as I noted your forum agenda, you have an impressive agenda. And let not this be just another talk fest, but a meeting which will come up with practical solutions or practical ideas which government can then partner with you on and implement so that we get the results that are expected from this forum. As I mentioned before, sometimes we depend on foreign concepts and try and impose it on the way we do things here in this nation. I'm sure over the last 8 years you would have realized that most of the policies that we implemented here in Fiji are homegrown policies coming out from stakeholders who have experienced how things are done in this nation and what needed to be done in order to realize our full potential. So we look forward to the discussions that you will have here from all the expert groups that are present, from all the practitioners and all the farmers. And this is a good start to the work the objectives that we would like to achieve. And as I mentioned before, please think big, dream big, and bring out that new generation thinking that is expected from you during these next few days. Again, I thank the sponsors, FEC, European Union, and APP for allowing this group to come together today and in these next few days to talk about developments that we would like to bring forward. I also thank the organizers for the invitation that was granted me to come and officiate. And as I mentioned, we look forward from the Ministry of Finance and Planning to the outcomes of your discussion. And I also wish every participant a very fruitful and productive meeting. And I have much pleasure in declaring open the Fiji Livestock Sector Forum meeting today.
Thank you.